Hey guys, my name is Michael or Kubera, and today we are back in the cornfields. It's growing a little bit more. It reminds me of America. Every single time I am here, I feel it. Born is the American dream. So, cryptocurrency taxes. Yeah, we go from fun to serious really quick. And that is due to the IRS. Well, they're interested in privacy coins, and this has been going on for quite a bit. But why am I discussing about this now? I thought it'd be a great time to talk about it because one of my clients is a crypto tax advisor. She's a CPA with an MBA. She works with individuals and companies. So I'm doing a little bit of research into it, as you do with every new niche in the industry. I'm familiar with cryptocurrencies, but the tax aspect of cryptocurrencies is constantly changing. It also varies where you are because there's certain countries around the world where they've banned cryptocurrency, or they've banned it temporarily, and then they realized they were missing out on a lot of money, or they started their own cryptocurrencies, or the companies that were banning it, such as Facebook, they used to ban ICO ads and anything related to cryptocurrency. Then they made their own coin, Libra coin. There's governments around the world like Venezuela where there's a lot of corruption going on with Petros coin. But the US has been involved with cryptocurrency since 2014. Before 2014, there was no involvement whatsoever. People were interested in it, but the government was like, whatever. Until there is legislation that says, all right, here's some laws, we got to collect taxes, and there's regulations in place. People didn't have to pay taxes. So pre-2014, there was no crypto taxes. So 2014 was the first time any U.S. government agency was like, listen, guys, here we finally have something that declares what cryptocurrency exactly is. But they didn't use the word cryptocurrency. They said virtual currency. The difference is that not all virtual currency is a cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency, the crypto part stands for cryptography. So it's encrypted, essentially. It's on a blockchain. You have a transfer of data. You have private and public keys, and it can go much further than that. So it's anonymous. It has a privacy aspect to it, like Monero, which the IRS is specifically targeting now alongside Zcash, and you're familiar with the other ones, PivX, Deep Onion, anything that's pretty much a privacy coin. Dash. Obviously, some are a little bit more secure than others, but the IRS doesn't care about that. The IRS just sees privacy coins as a new challenge. They see criminals. They see people who aren't paying taxes. And they don't care if you're not paying your taxes because you don't know, you had no idea, you were scared and afraid and didn't do them. Because no matter what, if you didn't file, or you just declared zero, or you ignored taxes, or you ignored cryptocurrency taxes while you filed the rest, they will send you penalties down the line, and those penalties will grow. The IRS is a powerful agency. I mean, that's how they put away criminals. Al Capone, they couldn't charge him with anything except for tax evasion. So one of the most feared criminals in all of U.S. history back then was put in Alcatraz due to his tax avoidance. Absolutely crazy. And right now, you still may be in a spot where, all right, you can get away with it. Obviously, the larger the amount is, it's a little bit more difficult, and especially if you haven't cashed out. But it depends where you're storing that cryptocurrency. And now with recent updates in the news, such as Coinbase getting a little bit more involved with regulation because they want to do an IPO, not an ICO, an IPO, an initial public offering onto the stock market. This is the first cryptocurrency company. We're going to be doing a video about that. I suspect there's going to be other larger cryptocurrency companies that are also going to be joining in. And this isn't going to be just in the US. It's going to be a global thing. I think it's a precedent for what's to come. Cryptocurrency will never be fully anonymous. It will never be its own entity, away from money, away from fiat currency, the normal way of life. As much as some of us crypto diehards would love for that to happen, it's going to be a Ripple-like situation. So Ripple is in with the banks. A lot of people don't consider it to be truly cryptocurrency because it's not truly decentralized. It doesn't follow all the formats and the rules of traditional crypto. But that, I suspect, is how cryptocurrency is going to be successful in many cases. It's going to be linked in with the banks, with the governments, with taxes, with everything that originally was designed to fight. If you can't beat them, join them. Now, it may be a stepping stone to whatever comes after cryptocurrency, but we're not there yet. Where we are currently, right now, 2020, this is the start of a decade where over the next few years, the IRS is going to go further and further down the rabbit hole to try and find everybody who's been avoiding taxes. Now, obviously, many people are going to point to the fact that even people outside of cryptocurrency have been getting away with not paying their taxes for many years or decades. But eventually, if they would catch up to you, they can garnish your wages, they can sell your property, they can do takeovers, they can force you to go into some dark places, and in certain cases, it is criminal and you might have to go to jail. So in order to avoid this, if you're dealing with any amount that is substantial, usually a few $1,000s or more, especially in cryptocurrency where that amount, that few $1,000s might go up 50% in a single day. Right now, it seems that the hype is slowly returning. It's obviously a little bit more stable than when we were in 2017. But the IRS is looking to hire more people, more companies, and get access to and utilize some really powerful tools to track more exchange transactions, to figure out which address belongs to whom, and using traditional methods. So if you're suddenly driving Ferrari and you're 21 years old, they're going to ask you, hey, where'd that money come from? And if you can't give them a good reason, or it's a really bad reason, well, then not only will the IRS get involved, but maybe the FBI and the local police. So in order to save yourself from trouble, I know this may sound like an advertisement, go to a CPA. I'm not going to reveal my client's name, but I can tell you that she has worked with the big four accounting firms. She's also worked with other cryptocurrency companies that if you're big into crypto, you're probably familiar with. And the more and more I look into this, I'm a little bit terrified. I understand where this is going. The IRS isn't going to stop and they're going to turn a blind eye and be like, oh, okay, whatever. It may be a slow and painful, grueling task to go over the crypto transactions, but there's one aspect that you should be interested in. Why do you need a CPA? Why do you need to go through an accountant for larger transactions? Or you may not actually need that if it's, a few $1,000s, but you're still worried about taxes down the line and you're always going to be, inserting a few $100 here and there every single year for the next few years. You're interested in it, but it's still kind of a hobby, but you don't want to be that worried about it. You can still file your taxes. And especially even if you got losses, like I have had huge losses. If your losses are over $3,000, you can use that $3,000 every single year until the losses are done. For me, it was like $70,000 in losses. It would go for a long time, yeah. But $3,000 that gets subtracted from your taxes every single year because of what you lost. So that's also pretty nice. Because if you're working outside of this and you have to file taxes anyways, that extra $3,000 that gets subtracted every year would be great. So put it to use, that money that you actually lost in 2017, 2018, or 2019. But why should you start filing yourself using tools? And I will actually link some in the description below that you can use by yourself. Obviously, you're going to have to pay a fee, but it's going to be a little bit less expensive than a CPA. A CPA is needed when there's a lot of transactions, and they're also going to make use of these tools, but they're going to go more in depth with them. And they're going to find loopholes, and they're going to be working with the latest legislation to try and save you a little bit here and there. Especially if you're running a business and you're actually registered, then you can write some things off, right? Especially if you were, buying things that were absolutely necessary, like a computer or trading tools. But the reason it's absolutely necessary to start looking into this now is before it's too late, because when the IRS finally sends you, hey, you owe $50,000, and you're asking yourself, well, how do I owe $50,000 if I ever even made that much? The reason is Coinbase is setting a precedent. There's going to be more and more exchanges that are based in the U.S. or begin working with the U.S. that you thought, oh, well, it's based in Malta or Singapore or Hong Kong. They're never going to work with the U.S. I think that's going to happen down the line. And you're going to be surprised when you suddenly get that $50,000 letter or $100,000. I've even seen people get $800,000. They don't have that money anymore. They lost it. But the IRS doesn't know the full situation. They just see point A to point B. They don't know what happened with the money. They don't know the full amount. They can only guess. And it's kind of a guessing game, no matter which way you look at it, because especially if you're dealing with hundreds of transactions every single day for the next few years, you have no idea, especially if you're dealing with euros and yen and all of these tens of fiat currencies transferring into hundreds of altcoins, into hundreds of thousands of transactions, especially if you're using a bot. It gets really, really messy. So without proof of how much you have, especially if you lost that money, where you could say, hey, listen, IRS, here's proof. They are using what they have, and they may not have the full picture, so they may think you're actually rich, and they're going to charge you 40% plus penalties if you're not paying, and you may not even have that money. So it's best to secure yourself so you're able to explain your situation and have proof later on. And they're going to look a lot differently at you. Even if you only filed a certain percentage of what you actually had to pay, they're going to look differently than someone who just ignored it completely. Even if you had no idea, you did it by accident, you didn't file because you were scared, whatever, but you didn't know about the latest regulations. In 2019, in December, there was the latest update where on your Schedule 1 1040 form, you have a little checkbox at the very, very top that asks you whether you had virtual currencies. The IRS considers it property. The SEC may consider some as securities, not all. So to wrap things up, by the way, I had to turn on my car, charging my phone. Nearly ran out of battery while recording this. It was 1%. This is the last video, by the way, unless we're going to be recording future videos just in the car here and there a few minutes. This is the last video using the microphone from my phone. It's not bad, but I ordered a new microphone. It came in the mail today. We're going to be using it for the next video, so it's going to be a little bit more crisper quality. Regardless of who you are, if you haven't paid your taxes yet, it's a good idea to start getting involved with that now. Also with the Black Swan event, the pandemic, everything that's been going on for the past few months, CPAs had a deadline till July 15th, so the last few hours here today, everything was moved back. Businesses are getting back open again. But taxes are all year round. There's a tax season, of course, and usually it's in April, not in July, but this was a weird event. However, it's good to get started because companies look at it Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. You can look at it the same way. Just because you may not be earning a lot of money right now, you have no idea what's on the horizon. And for those who are interested in working with cryptocurrency taxes, there's a lot of positions. And there's a lot of people with a lot of crypto tax problems that need their transactional tax history audited properly. They'll pay top dollar for your solutions to their crazy problems. Maybe complex and maybe boring. But who knows? There might be an accountant that's watching this video right now and they're like, whoa, well, you know what? I was always a little bit afraid of crypto taxes, but it's going to take a few months to learn about cryptocurrency. Maybe you're already interested in it since you're watching this video, and you might be making more money. And someone's driving down. I am in the middle of a cornfield. Someone is, who the heck is that? All right, random people. So it might be interesting to make more money just by having extra knowledge. Don't be afraid about cryptocurrency taxes. It may seem daunting, but it's not so bad once you really, really get into it. And once you have it done the first year, every single year after that, it's going to be so much easier for both crypto tax practitioners and users and clients. So that is my message for you. Last thing I'm going to leave you guys off with here today. If you have Netflix, watch The Last Dance. I'm not into sports. I've only ever seen the Chicago Bulls once, but I recommend you watch it to bring your empire back under your control, to go full emperor mode, to become a king of your destiny. Because even though the documentary series is about Michael Jordan, his success with the Chicago Bulls, it goes into his mentality and Scottie Pippen and other Chicago Bulls teammates, what they went through. Some of them were homeless at 22. Not everyone was like Jordan, where he was a good student and had lots of skills. Some of them didn't start playing basketball until they were late in their 20s. So really, really inspiring stuff. Super motivational. And Michael Jordan's winning mentality. That's what got him to where he is today. He's worth $2.1 billion. Crazy how his net worth jumped up recently. Alongside other billionaires. By the way, Elon Musk has beat out Warren Buffett. Jeff Bezos is approaching $200 billion. Wow, lots going on. So, guys, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this. Get involved. The IRS is getting involved. Oh yeah, they're definitely going to have their eye on you. And I'm excited to get the mic for the next video. If you're new to the channel, well, share your opinion down below and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.